This is Cobatron, but everyone just calls him Cobb, and Cobb lives together with both of his parents. Never mind, one of his parents. So for the first build I made a house for the two. I added a bed, a sofa, and this bed for the baby. And then I finally put the roof on top. So Cobb has just been born. And quickly something strange happens. Good night, Cobb. Achoo! Ow. So a few days later they get visited by a Jedi. Jedi Master Broda. And he wanted to train Cobb to be a Jedi. You think I'm just gonna give you my son? Well, I got money. How much? Then Broda brought Cobb to the Jedi Temple to begin his training. So for this build I'm making a Jedi dojo. This is where the Jedi train their Force and lightsaber skills. I first built this round base using 10 plates. Then I added this red carpet on top. And finally, to make it look cooler, I added these pillars in the back. So after a few years, Cobb was now finally old enough to begin his training. And for his first training, Cobb has to lift this object using the Force. First, Broda showed how it was done. He easily made the object fly. Then it was Cobb's turn. But nothing happened. Concentrate, Cobb. But eventually he managed to do it. So now Cobb was ready for the next phase of his training. And that is to build a lightsaber. But for this, Cobb first had to find a kyber crystal. These crystals are used to power lightsabers. And they're found on the snow planet Elam, which I built here using white pieces. So Broda and Cobb arrived on the planet. And now Cobb had to find the crystal. So he started looking. But after a lot of hours he still hadn't found it. So he just wanted to give up. Then Broda told him to use the Force. So Cobb tried it one more time. And this time he finally found it. Now Cobb could finally build his own lightsaber. So next they traveled back to Coruscant. And here Cobb put everything together. Then Cobb turned on his lightsaber for the first time. So now that Cobb has a lightsaber, he can start his lightsaber training. But he was getting cooked very hard. Ow. After a few years of training, Cobb has become a Jedi Knight. And he's finally gotten much better at lightsaber combat. Even better than Broda. But then Order 66 happens. Clone troopers enter the room and shoot Broda. No, Broda. So Cobb takes them out. Inside the temple are way more clones. So Cobb has to find a way to escape.
Bruh.
Somehow that worked. But now Cobb had no place to stay. So he went back to his father's house. Here he met with his father for the first time in years. And told him everything that just happened. So his father told him he could stay here for the night. Thanks. But when Cobb woke up, he was surrounded by clone troopers. They then arrested him for being a Jedi. Yo, thanks for the help. Here are your credits. Yeah, no problem. So next Cobb was taken to a prison. I first built this door using black pieces. And it can open and close. And then next I made the inside of the prison. So Cobb gets brought to his prison cell. And they lock him up inside. Ha 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 ha. Then inside the cell he meets a youngling. And he tells Cobb that he has a plan to escape. But that they first have to wait. So Cobb uses this time to go meditate.
One eternity later.
Then a stormtrooper entered the room. But Cobb was nowhere to be found. Hiya! Cobb then stole back their lightsabers. But they got spotted. So the stormtroopers started shooting at Cobb. But luckily Cobb got to cover in time. So what do we do now? Now we wait. Oh crap. After taking out the stormtroopers, they escaped the prison and ended up in the forest. But here the Empire quickly found them, and now they were surrounded. But then the stormtroopers started getting shot. Cobb got rescued by the rebels, who then invite him to their base. But before Cobb could accept, they got ambushed. The stormtroopers had reinforcements, led by Bob the clone trooper. So then Cobb and the rebels fled the planet. Lord Vader. They escaped. They traveled to the planet Tatooine. This planet is pretty much just sand, so I kept it pretty simple. The squad arrived in Tatooine, and here they found dead rebels. But then Cobb saw that they died from lightsaber wounds, so he wanted to warn the others. But it was too late. So Cobb turned on his lightsaber and fought the Inquisitor. The two were evenly matched. But then the Inquisitor went for the youngling. So Cobb stopped him using the Force. And then the Inquisitor sliced him down. After a few hours, Cobb got woken up and got told that the youngling had been taken. Cobb then asked where to, and the rebel told him probably to Vader's castle. So finally I'm building Vader's castle on Mustafar. First I added this throne for Vader. And then I filled these pools with lava. And now the throne room is complete. So Darth Vader is sitting in his chair, when the Inquisitor brings him a youngling, for him to train as another Inquisitor. But suddenly the youngling gets pulled away, by Cobb the Jedi. He tells the youngling to, while he buys him some time. So the youngling escapes the fortress. Deal with him. Okay. And now Cobb and the Inquisitor have their rematch. But this time Cobb is much better. And wins after cutting off his hand. So Vader punishes the Inquisitor. Ow, 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 ow. Then Vader gets out of his chair and deals with Cobb himself. Cobb knows that Vader is much better, but still doesn't give up. So eventually he gets beaten. And now Vader gives him one last chance to become an Inquisitor. Now! So Vader finishes him off. And that's the end for Cobb the Jedi.